Hey everyone, my name is Matt Klock. I'm a physical therapist and the Northeast Account Manager for Gorbel Rehabilitation. And today I want to give you a few tips to keep your back and neck healthy, especially if you're somebody who sits at a desk most of the day. Now, for those patients that fall into that category of mine, I would instruct them this way. But before you start any home exercise program, it's important to consult with your physical therapist or your physician. So when we talk about people who sit a majority of the day, there's a lot of challenges that come with it. Gravity is pulling down on us constantly. We tend to fall back down into this posture no matter how hard it seems that we fight it or pay attention to it. But if you can pay attention to your posture, that's going to help a majority of your issues. And to begin with that, posture is heavily reliant on the ergonomic setup of your desk. So if you haven't checked out the video by Heidi Schenk on ergonomics, I suggest you do so because it's going to help set you up for success right off the bat. So when we talk about good posturing, bringing your shoulders back, bringing that head up, and being able to keep a open chest while you're working is very important. Now, one thing that we find as we tend to get tired, we tend to slump forward. And that's also perpetuated by the fact that we work at a desk. So our hands are here, our eyes are in front of us. And if you think about it, that's how most of our life is, whether we're eating, whether we're driving, whether we're working at the computer or on our cell phone, everything is here. So a lot of the tips that I want to talk to you about today are about reversing that, getting into that extended posture and away from that flex posture. One thing that really helps, especially for people while they are sitting, is if your chair does not come with lumbar support, I suggest you either buy a lumbar roll or use a rolled up towel. Now, when I talk about placement of the lumbar roll or towel, you want to make sure that it's going to sit right at the low back level, right where your hips meet your low back. And that's important. A lot of people tend to use their towel roll or lumbar roll way up here, and it tends to push them forward and accentuate that extended posture, and that's not really what we want. We want a good posture. I should move this chair back so you can see me, but we want to put that towel in the chair so that when I'm sitting, that extra support is right there, right above my hips, so that as I start to fall forward, I'm actually resisted by this towel, and it helps me keep that upright posture a lot longer so I can work at my desk without pain. Now let's talk about a few exercises that I find really helpful for those patients who do work at a desk most of the day. So we'll talk about our neck first, and neck and shoulders kind of come together when we're talking about posture of the upper body. So one thing that we just mentioned was that flex posture. We spend a lot of time with our shoulders forward, our chin forward, and we fall into this posture. If you're one of those people that is kind of shaking your head, yep, that's me. Believe me, you're not alone. It's something we all do without even thinking about it. So when we think about this posture, that forward head, we want to make sure that we're bringing us out of that posture as much as possible by paying attention. But then we're going to do an exercise that I call cervical retractions. That's going to help us bring our head back and decrease the flexion posture and kind of counteract it with the extension posture, which is pulling back. So all you have to do is you're going to imagine that your chin is on a table, and you're going to slide your chin back across that table. My voice just changed as I did that. But from the side, this is what it looks like. And notice that I'm not tilting my head down, and I'm not bringing my head up. I'm simply sliding my chin straight back. And that maybe a set of 10 every hour, set of 10 every 2 hours, that's something that's going to help pay off in the long run, especially if you're somebody that has neck issues already. The second exercise that I want to show you is about those shoulders. Now we roll those forward a lot, especially if we're here. If you find yourself slouched over like this, your shoulders have come forward, and you're typing like this. We need to decrease that. We need to get you out of that posture, and we need to open up those shoulders. So the next exercise that I want to talk to you about is bringing those shoulders back. We call these scapular retractions. And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to pull my shoulder blades together, allow my chest to open up, and relax. So if I'm sitting at a chair, if I'm sitting at my desk, I can do these cervical retractions a couple times every hour just to get out of this posture. Another modification of that is you can really open up your chest. Continue to squeeze those shoulder blades together when you get to the back, and then relax. That's going to help you even feel a stretch right across your chest. And the last exercise that I want to talk about is for your back. Now, when we sit, we're automatically putting our lumbar spine into a flex posture. We're already forward. So we want to decrease that. We want to get us out of that posture, and we want to work on extension just to allow our spine full mobility, because our spine, remember, it's meant to move in a full range of motion, flexion and extension. And if we're only flexing our posture, if we're only bending that spine forward, we're actually going to lose extension over time. So we don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen for you. So when we talk about lumbar extension, you can stand up, and I very much advocate for being able to stand up out of your chair once every hour. Get up, grab a glass of water, walk around the floor, or if you're at home, walk around your house real quick, because if you can get out of that chair more often, it's going to help save your spine over time. So this last exercise we call lumbar extensions. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your arms to your back. Your hands are going to go right on your low back. If you can't bring your arms back here, that's okay. You can put your hands right on your hips here. All I'm doing from this straight up and down posture is I'm going to bring my shoulders back as far as I can go comfortably, and then come back up to neutral. Now, we're working on extension, so I'm not going forward. I'm staying at neutral and going back, and then back up to that neutral posture again. One thing I want to caution everybody about is watch your neck. I tell my patients to focus on something in front of them, and that way they can keep their eye level flat while they're doing this, because if not, people tend to do this, and then they can open up to a lot of cervical issues by straining their neck that way. And remember, we want to help you out. We don't want to injure you. So if you keep those tips in mind, I really think you're going to find it helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, because I want to help as much as possible. So for all of us here at Gorbel Rehabilitation, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.